Hello, and welcome to another Wargame Dragoncast. I'm Rangru, and I'm joined here today with
It's Graham. How's it going, everybody?
very much for joining once again, Graham. And we have a 1v1 on Hell in a very small place once again from the monthly South African themed tournament. So, who's playing Rod, Graham?
Yeah, absolutely. Not going to mess it up this time. On the left, we have Hephaestus playing South Africa General. And then on our right here, we have Nickm playing Israeli Mechanized.
Yeah, really weird deck combinations here. I mean, South African General is not as cool per se compared to Moto, but same thing with Israeli mechanized. It's not really a deck I'd think to really mechanize.
No, and I also like it feels like on the map too. I wouldn't expect to see Israeli Mechanized. Not that I think necessarily it's a bad choice. It just seems a little unusual, right?
Yeah, you usually just want those, super heavy McCurvers and
Right.
usually just a few Roviat 90s and Zeldas, and then like one McCurver 2A infantry transport card is usually enough for the standard Israeli, but we'll see how it has to go. So right off the bat, Golf is getting hit here pretty hard here by Nickm and Hephaestus. Not really sending much up here, so this could be a rush out up north for Nick.
Yeah, Nick M should lock down golf here pretty soon. Those inflicts aren't going to stop that. And then down towards the middle in Foxtrot, you see essentially a meeting engagement between the two. And I have a feeling Nick M's going to win that if it's just a straight head-on fight.
Yeah, I got one Logum, yeah, and that is the super heavy tank, but he has one, two, three. Well, no, one
Well,
McCurva 2 right now. I
yeah, and then
forgot the elephants.
no, and the offense actually doing some good work there. The Merkavas weren't all engaging at the same time, and then they're also shooting different targets and getting flanked by Rukat 76.
Oh,
So what looked really like a good engagement from Nick M there actually has kind of flipped itself around.
yeah, that's the true caster's curse, right? Yeah, but this is
Absolutely.
working really well here for Festus. I mean, that Logum's coming in extremely clutch. And this is going to be one problem with Israeli mechanized is, you don't have those fancy McCurva 3s. You
Right.
just have McCurva 2 infantry transports, which are good,
Right.
but the infantry transport, and they have limited limited ammunition for the main cannon.
Right. Yeah, it definitely felt like there was a chance there. Like I think if you replay that and those Merkavas all engage at once, hitting the log up at once, I think that exchange is a little different. But obviously that didn't happen. It was kind of mismanaged, and now you see Hephaestus with the dominant position moving into Charlie.
Yeah, but Nick M is moving pretty hard into Gulf here, actually extending himself. Probably a little bit too much. His XH alphas are going to be enough to just do a bit of skirmishing. That
Right.
Drakon is a little bit far behind to do anything. But yeah, his central position is looking really good here for Hephaestus. I mean, that Logum is going to be, the key unit which Nick will need to destroy.
Yeah, and he does have a, and there's nothing really that can contest that armor right now in the middle of the map. We do see that the logam is a little damaged, so it's something I think to kind of keep in mind. But that's two Tevza Bs that have gone down to that Rukat AA piece. It's absolutely trashed them. There are some South African special forces with Stinger missiles equipped moving forward as well to kind of screen the tank. So it's a pretty good push, I'd say, here by Festus moving into Charlie.
Yeah, especially for SAS location, that's a great spot just to
Mm-hmm.
get infantry at, because you can pretty much shut down. Well, there's three bridges, but really only two that matter when it comes to taking Charlie here. But yeah, Vestas is going to get so close, he's going to be able to start shooting into Delta.
Yeah, he's it's kind of like a reverse of what we watched last week, right? Same players, same map. Decks obviously a little different, but they have switch sides, excuse me. And we see here very early Hephaestus is right there on the doorstep of Delta. I say the only question is, does he over it? The only real question here is, does he overextend into it and get punished? Because as we can see there, there's a lot of spike missiles coming out.
Yeah, I'm also thinking the same problem for Nickm. Really overextend his current pretty good position on Gove. I mean, he
Right.
definitely wants to get into Echo at some point, but he doesn't really have the forces in to do so. And we are seeing a bit of a counterattack here to go with some Rat L90 infantry.
Yeah, it might be better if both players, if you think about it from their perspectives, maybe switch a little bit. You have like Nick M chill out in golf and Hephaestus chill out in Charlie, but both seem to be kind of doubling down on their respective overextensions.
Yeah, I have to admit, both of these players are very entertaining to watch, especially considering the last replay we did of him, which I highly recommend checking out. We're seeing up north in the mechanized infantry. getting completely slapped on their transport, but of the other IFE support, Hephaestus is making pretty decent plays back into Gulf.
Yeah, and pushing golf will be hard there without any like real fire support. The Oliphants are not engaged and they're in the back line, and there are Doorbounds in position to kind of negate the IFEs of Hephaestus. And the Bootcamp really isn't. You don't want an open head-on fight against Roviat entrenched in a town.
No.
Well, something just died actually over by Foxtrot. I think a Roviat sniped a Rattel.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. Yeah, we're seeing, like, the whole front line's a goddamn mess at this point. We got on McCurva 2A trying to sneak up on the Logum. Oh! Oh!
Yeah, both Rattels, the Bootcamp does get out, but that one Roviat with a law getting the kill there, that's crazy.
Yeah, showing him who's the law around here.
Yeah, though he is actually up in the north rank. Hephaestus with his Rattels, he's able to keep them out of missile range, and the Oliphant getting some shots in as well should be able to get into the town there in golf.
Yeah, but he does lose one elephant to a Dorban, unfortunately, which not ideal, but he is going to get back onto Gulf. And I do like...
Logum!
Oh! Did he get flanked?
No, the Merkava got the Logum! Wow, the Merkava 2 with the nasty push, as we talked about earlier, isolated. Wow, crazy.
Yeah, goddamn, I didn't actually catch it. I'm quite upset with myself. Goddamn, what a great flank. I always forget you can always flank around in this game. The side and rear armor is extremely weak on most vehicles.
Yeah, it's a crazy turn of events right there. What looked like an extremely dominant position for Hephaestus right there in Charlie on the doorstep of the spawn point, and now his middle is pretty much wide open, and we see a bunch of Israeli mechanized units starting to head into Charlie.
Yeah, and I think it helped out a lot by run Roviat by stopping those infantry reinforcements. Because if the infantry reinforcements were there, he probably would have spotted it on McCurva 2 beforehand and deal with it. But that tank was blind as a bat in that forest.
Yeah, then we see the SASF there open up. A Pila shot taking out the M113 there, but there was nothing in it, so it's just kind of a heads up now to Nickm that there is something in there. Oh, and the Rootcat AAP is going down. Oh. Yeah, a lot of pretty heavy losses here so far now for Hephaestus in trying to hold on to Charlie Ring.
Yeah, he is, but he is managing to push back into Gulf at least, so he's getting a very dominant position up here now just because Nickm is focusing everything into Charlie.
Right, I would like to shift your attention really quick, Ray, not to cut you off,
no
but
problem.
look over by Bravo.
What the fuck?
We got some cheekiness going on.
This is some cheeky breaky shit right here. I mean, it is a command infantry, so it's going to be a bit harder to kill, but that HVMS is a rather fast-firing gun. So, and there's nothing to stop the spotting. So, it's HVMS. We've got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of a replay of last time where the Cobra that could penetrate into Alpha and just missed the command units 2 times. You know, Nickm's like, I'm not making this mistake. I don't need recon and an attack unit. I'm combining them into one.
Yep, and he's using the M113, which is obviously the best vehicle in the entire game.
Absolutely. Nothing better.
Oh, here comes Casper. Goes down, but oh, the HVMS took some heavy damage here.
Yeah, the Casper actually got some really good shots into it. Oh, and the Buffaloes are still alive. Yeah. So if they can actually get their Milan off and hit,
can he shoot the Milan at point blank?
I don't think so. I think there's a minimum range. I believe. I'm not positive on that. Someone in the Wargame in the comments will correct me. But I think there is a minimum range right there.
Yeah, and the HVMS... Oh, no, he's finally engaging.
Now he's turning.
HVMS... Oh, he only has kinetic energy rounds. He can't shoot high explosive.
Oh. And he is dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very... I mean... That's a kind of a risky unit to try CV sniper because, I mean, we know it's CV infantry, so he couldn't kill the CV even if he spotted it, unless he got like a good Kernas strike. But okay, it does have Kernas in his deck, thank God.
Yeah, sometimes double check and make sure they bring it. You just keep expecting it. You're like, where's the unit? And it's actually not in their deck.
That's pretty much like the one mandatory blue 4 bomber you always take.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we do see it's starting to look like the game's evening itself out a little bit here, though. There are some Shiatets up in the up on golf there from Nickm trying to play a little, maybe some havoc in the back line, but we do see Nickm pushing back into Charlie, trying to set up a line as well to push into golf, though he is taking that +2 tick there from Hephaestus. And I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Hephaestus is definitely in the lead still. He has really good
Yeah,
map control and does have a foothold into Charlie, though
right.
not as strong as it was before. So he's going to be in a very good spot to just keep this up, essentially.
Yeah, really at this point, from Hephaestus's, I think, viewpoint, is that you just have to kind of stabilize your front line there, dig in, and then force the Israelis in to attack you frontally there. And he doesn't have, right, like that super heavy Israeli armor that we expect. So it actually probably even itself out, because you don't really think of the South Africans as being able to withstand like heavy assaults because they're lighter vehicles.
Yeah, because it's all just Roycat run of 5 spam, but those Logums and Oliphants are pretty nasty. But I mean, Nickm, he does have that Nimrod flying around, which is a
Yeah.
helicopter you barely bloody see. Not as cool, honestly not as cool as the SD1, but a bit more powerful with that missile.
Yeah, it's very powerful. It's just very expensive, right? To
Yeah,
get it out into the field, it's very expensive, very supply intensive because it only has 4 missiles. So
yeah.
you really just don't see it utilized that often. Especially because, like, to bring out, he brought it out with the Shiatet there. That's a very expensive call out.
Yes. Yes, that's 110 points. It's a really good missile, to be fair. If you kill a super
Right.
heavy tank of it, you paid yourself off, including with the
Absolutely.
infantry. But yeah, you just don't really see it. But with Israeli mechanized, I mean, he can afford to take it slots-wise.
Yeah.
You have a lot of infantry slots.
Right, absolutely.
And also you need it, because you don't have a lot of high AP weaponry.
Yeah, and we see here that it's Nickm is still pushing into Charlie. He's almost cleared it out. There are some mechanics. I'm actually not sure how you pronounce that, but there's some South African mechanif. There's some South African infantry still holding the forest line.
You think it'd be called Moto Imp, really. You can't even play a mechanized deck in South Africa.
Yes, right. It doesn't even exist. Do they even
Jeez.
have a mechanized unit?
There's no...
I don't think they have one, right? Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
No, they have no mechanized, like, transports. Everything is reals.
Yeah, everything's Moto.
Yeah. Moto Gang.
That's how you go, baby. Moto gang. And we see here the Roviats and the Bocops engaging each other here, both inside the town. There's a Magat coming up as well to kind of support that push there. And the Shiatat in the back line there of golf, Rang. We have to look here and see if it's going to snipe that Rookcat.
Not the 105, but I guess the 35 will also make a adequate kill.
Right, that's the A piece. And there it goes down. Huge pickup there by the Shiatats. And then it's going to just wreak havoc in that back line there. Because then you start seeing, Rang, when you start losing units in your back line, you start seeing invisible enemies everywhere. You don't know where they're at.
They're living in your rules.
Right,
That's what
living in your...
happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the inflicts there getting inflicted some pain on by Nickm.
Yeah. This is... Honestly, Nickm, he's slow but steady, but he definitely has like the concentrated forces to make a decent counterattack. I mean, if you just look at the front line, it's much more red than there is blue right now.
Absolutely.
Really a lot of red. We're seeing a huge heap of infantry reinforcements being brought in, but it feels like Hephaestus needs like a super heavy tank, some elephants, some decent armored firepower out on the field rather than just infantry.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to move forward, even though those Bocops actually getting a nice pick there on the... those are just... they're just reservist infantry anyway, so not actually a huge pick. But delaying it nonetheless. We do see that Nickm has a vastly superior... a lot more units on the field than Hephaestus does, and he's trying to make that presence felt by pushing across the board here. And the infantry, like you said earlier, in Charlie and in Golf, that's not going to be enough to stop this push incoming.
Yeah, and with Israel mechanized, you have a lot of really good fire support units. I mean, the Elders, of course, are one of the GOAT 5-point transports. The Akazarit is absolutely insane armor-wise, where it's a lot overpriced compared to the Zelda. But right now he has T-55 recon tanks, he has HVMSs, Magat 6. He has armored stuff on the field, but we're going to be seeing the Canberra try to make our armored stuff less armored.
Oh yeah, he's going in for a big bomb drop here. There's no AA, no fighters or anything out here for Nickm, so it should get its hits. Though it actually kind of misses.
Yeah.
Not a great hit, and plus it's only reserve infantry, so really it's not, not
Yeah,
of critical importance in Nickm.
Yeah, the bombs cost more in the training for those guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those dudes, they were given an FAL and what looks like a bazooka of some kind and
Yeah.
said, hey, take it to the front.
Egyptians are outright.
Yeah, right? And then as the push keeps going in here in Charlie, which is almost completely under Nickm's control. The only thing I'd say for Nickm, Rang, is I think it's time to cap. I think now's the time to get a CV into Charlie. And because the tick is getting a little... He's got time, obviously. It's nothing crazy. But now would be the time probably to put an end to it.
Yeah, he really needs to secure that Charlie point. Because really to catch up to 200 points safely at this stage in the game, he's going to need a +2 tick of his own. And that might get a little bit difficult once things start evening out in the center here. I mean, Bravo's actually... I'm surprised. Bravo is completely empty from both sides. Yep. I mean, usually on Hephaestus' side of the map, you'd have some infantry in there, but no, it says no one's gonna fight south of the canal, apart from that one Tourney.
Yeah, where he's on a one-way mission to Delta, I think. We'll see if he ever makes it there. Actually, we do see a CD now called out by Nickm. He's listening to us right now in real time.
Oh.
And Rang as we cast this here.
Voices going back to the past.
Absolutely.
He's stream sniping from the past in the present.
From the past. Hey, I mean, that's how you got to do it right there.
Yeah.
Those SASF, one man left of the push to Charlie. He's like, I got to get out of here. I got to tell everybody what happened. Everybody's dead. The Israelis are coming.
Run for your lives.
Right.
How did they get from the northern part of Africa to southern part of Africa? Who knows?
Right.
Middle East.
He's got to get out of there. Yeah. But would you see, as he's now starting to push into it, I think Nickm get a little aggressive in Foxtrot, because if he can secure Foxtrot and cut off that reinforcement line to Golf, he's in a very good position.
Yeah, as you can see, it's completely bloody open. He probably does not know, because he doesn't really... He has T-55 recon and a HVMS, actually,
and
but it's slow.
Yep.
But he needs to, like, really put the pedal to the metal and try to take advantage of this opening in the line.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's wide open here. He can get into Foxtrot. I know he's playing a little safe. We have top-down vision, God Eye, whatever you want to call it, God Vision, whatever you want to call it. But he knows that there's not much in front of him, and he needs to take advantage of that, because he has been ticked down 272.
Yeah. He has so many just like cheap transports he can just throw in for reconnaissance by contact.
Yeah, absolutely. Because as we can see in front of us here, there's only the Buffalo, a K car, and then one Oliphant moving into position here. And he has more than enough firepower to deal with all of that across the board and get into a very stable position. I mean, really, if he wanted to, he could even go into Bravo.
Yeah, he really could. Yeah, and he has the infantry force to do so. As we're seeing, he's just spamming a whole heap of Zelda Roviad infantry. And, I mean, that's what you're going to do is really mechanized. Really good infantry.
Absolutely, and you see there why the Oliphant going up against the Israelis, the Dorbon's just one-shotting it like it's nobody's business, up close and personal. It doesn't care about your feelings. Get out of here. And now there's just a Buffalo.
Yeah, and those Dorbons are really good in a map like this, where it's a little bit shorter range. Pretty pretty standard range.
I see the Canberra there, actually, by Hephaestus, striking that town complex. He's just kind of guessing at this point. And I don't think I really like that move there from Hephaestus. You know, not to be overly critical, but you can kind of save that for where your contact line is. He's just kind of reaching to hit something. And there's really nothing valuable there. And it's not like killing a Roviat squad there is that valuable to begin with.
Yeah, you really just need to make more efficient use of your strike packages, because, as we're seeing, it's not really doing a whole lot here. But at the same time, I mean, I really want Nickm to be just a bit more aggressive here. It's starting to kill me a little bit. I think he's just, like, gaining the forces to attack Foxtrot. I mean, he's got the Magats being brought in.
The Mechaniv getting the snipe on both Zeldas there, or the Roviats. Actually, they're going to massacre those Roviat infantry, though. The reinforcements coming in to support. Nice pickups, though, there. Yeah,
it's actually quite interesting seeing the mechanizing being used, because I'm noticing most players are taking the power batch instead. Yes. I think I just slightly better equipment rise, but I mean, both are shock infantry in the end of the day.
Yeah, and I also don't know, like, maybe someone in the comments can say me or can say it or talk about it. I feel like some of the infantry kind of comes down to personal preference, right? And then the availability of the transports.
Yeah.
So it's very not seeing parabats when every game that we cast with South Africa, the parabats have been in it. It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like personal choices in Wargame which
Right.
I like. Like I always take on tosses whenever I can because I think it's such a good unit, and I just think it's so stupid looking. It makes it even better. I mean, why
And then
have run recallers rifle when you can have 6?
right, more the merrier.
Yeah, you can just one-shot tanks in forest.
And then we see there, and actually an X1, XH1 Alpha got a kill there on a recon chopper in there
Oh,
for Nickm. And he's
oh,
going deep into Charlie, and gotta be careful here. He might spot that, and then this is where the Canberra be valuable for a strike package, because he's gonna fly real close. Let me see if I can.
oh no, he's not gonna spot it.
Nope,
Macbeth comes in,
barely.
not
He
to
didn't
be.
commit deep enough, and nope. And then the Macbeth puts it into it. So close,
So close. So close. What a shame.
so far away.
Yeah.
And we see some Rocat 76s there trying to engage. Oh, the Macbeth's actually out in front. You're not an armored unit, buddy. You might want to get out of there. But no, the Rocat getting a hit on it. It actually tanks that shot like a boss. Takes another shot. What? It just took... Oh, the Alphon goes down, but it does die.
That third run is the charm. But
That
here
was
we
a
go.
little Macbeth that could.
Nickm is finally making that progress into Foxtrot. He has all the infantry he needs to do so, and I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. He has recon infantry to support. A lot of infantry is a Magok 7 right here pushing up. He's going to run into the Ruhrkat here. He might actually one-shot it, and it will. Yep. Big one-shot there. Dorbon's in support. I really like Nickm's push here. I think he needs to commit a little more, maybe, urgency to it, I would say, so he can get a CV in a position and start getting a tick of his own. But I really do like the effort here.
Yeah, it's a very scary, just blob of angry Israelis pushing through. And really, Hephaestus does nothing to stop it. He brings in like one tank at a time, or a few infantry units at a time, but when you're bringing in things sequentially like that, they just get picked off easy peasy.
Yeah, and that's where you see, Ring. I think the weakness of South Africa really shines is when it's forced to play defensive, and when you lose that initiative, as as Hephaestus did in Charlie, and you have to kind of go on your back foot, restabilize your position. It just doesn't have any weight to it, right? And then it allows even the Israelis.
Canberra.
Yeah, big bomb run coming in here. We'll see what it connects with. There's a lot of infantry possible, or is it just gonna? It gets the transports, but the Roviats live. And the Akazarts, or Akazarts, however you pronounce that, they're moving in hot. Oh, no, actually, no, they're like, I'm out of here. There's an Alphon in front. Peace out.
There we go. That was a clutch bombing run, yes.
Yeah, very
Giving
good.
Hephaestus a bit of time. And Hephaestus does have time to set up some sort of defensive line, actually. That was a really good bombing run here. If he can just knock out the fire sport vehicles, it's really just Roviat 90s he has to deal with, which is definitely very durable to deal with.
Yeah, we see the wall right there trying to shoot. Actually, a big miss there. One hit, so he is down actually 1 HP on that Alphon, so he does need to be careful. And the Trailblazer, or the Trailblazer, the Blazer moving up there to try and engage recon tank. And then down in the south ring, we do see the Ruhrkat 76 engaging some Roviats as well. Then actually goes down to the wall there, and the Magok 7 firing the supply line road on the supply road. And Nickm's starting to lock that area down.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. Hopefully Hephaestus can unload his infantry and clear through his forest, because he should be able to knock out both the Magak and the Roviat roof. Okay, there we go, some Buffalo 85s. Hey,
yeah.
Well, heavy mortars could do the trick.
Yeah, the Rotell 120 has been out of ammo for a while, but it's dropping dropping some HE there on top of the Magok 7. If it was Steel Division, he might have killed it.
He might have, but those cold draw tanks are a little bit more armored on the top.
Right, a little more durable.
Yeah.
You see the Buffaloes there engaging, getting the kill on the Roviat, which is what they should do. And then we see here from Nickm actually calling in more infantry and support. Though I would like to see from Nickm, I think, a CV at this point, Rang, capping Foxtrot. I think would be a smart move.
He needs it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 15 minutes left on the clock, and he has over 270 points to catch up to. He needs a +3, really, to... +2 to be able to catch up. Oh, no, you need a +3. Just doing the math in my head.
Yeah, because it's getting to that point here. Because I think if this game goes on, if there's no time limit, it just goes on infinitely, right? He's going to win because he's going to push Hephaestus to spawn. Because Hephaestus just doesn't feel like has the substance left to hold him back. But at the rate that he's going, that's just not going to happen in 14 minutes.
Yeah, he's just been a bit slow, and Hephaestus actually has a good chance of winning this if he can just essentially hold until relieved.
Hold until
So
relieved.
he just needs to hold until relieved against a horde of Israelis. He does have a Logum being brought in here to try and hold the front line, but he has nothing to really back it up. Okay, he does have a reconnaissance helicopter, but you do, eventually want to get some infantry to back that thing up.
Yeah, we do see there that the helicopter, the beta actually getting a lot of damage in, getting some kills as well, but not enough here to hold back that Israeli infantry push. Though still no CV anywhere from... Oh, there it is. Finally, yeah, he calls one out. It'll be interesting to see where he picks that to go, whether it's Foxtrot or Golf. But honestly, I'd like to see 2 at this point. Get 2 out, get a +2, and then maybe think about going into Bravo or pushing to... Or I guess you could push to Echo, right? And maybe try and decap.
Yeah, Bravo would probably be the safest spot, but if he could get a sneaky CV snipe on Echo, just fly something around the flank and blow it up. A few Cobras.
That was blue on blue there. He actually didn't kill any of, maybe one of Nickm's guys, but he obliterated his own troops. That's what you get for using that 1960s unguided bombing.
Yeah, the enemy's in the general direction.
A lot of South Africans went down right there that didn't need to.
But God, I'm really curious to see the KD race here after this match, because I'm guessing it's going to be absolutely awful here for Hephaestus. He just keeps losing everything.
And that Logum's going in, what we like to say, hot. He's going right in there. He's going to attack that Magok 7. The thing's detracked. Actually gets a shot into it. Wow, good HP. Good damage on it as well. That Logum's actually now pretty... you forget that its frontal armor actually isn't that great for the 155 price, I don't think.
No, it has a very accurate gun, but apart from that, the armor definitely makes it a lot more
but the door bonds are the spike.
Oh.
He needs to be careful. The spike's going to make its presence felt here.
And the T-55 here.
Oh, he's aiming. The super missile's out. Oh, just direct hit on the front, though. Tanked it.
Mark 2.
Yeah. Ooh, the Merkava 2, is he going to get the Logum?
I think he will.
Oh. You won't miss it this time. And, the Recon T-54 gets it. T-55. Wow.
God damn. God damn.
We couldn't let the tanks duel out. It had to come in and steal the thunder.
Yeah, that was not a good position to put the Logum so close without, I mean, he had reconnaissance support, but you need more than a reconnaissance.
It was entertaining.
It was.
I don't think it was a good move.
Area.
Yeah, and now the Canterbury's like, well, I don't need to worry about hitting my own guys here. I'm just going to obliterate that forest.
Oh, it gets shot down.
Odin is dead.
Israeli anti-air actually doing something.
Well, when you're shooting an old, slow-ass plane, I guess it helps out, right?
Fair point. Fair point.
And then we see actually another command vehicle. He's calling out the Askert, but he already has his in Foxtrot, so I guess he's going to move one over to Golf, I would assume.
He hasn't
unloaded.
Oh my God.
He's 10 minutes. He has 11 minutes left on this clock here. He still needs to unload that CV, get a tick going, and get another one in. He's Nickm keeping Hephaestus around.
Yeah, this is... I mean, Nickm should win this match, but this time is really not on his side. But I think maybe if he gets a +1 and then even with a +2, it's going to be tight.
No, +2. It'll be a little tight, I think. It'll be a little tight.
He needs a +3. He needs to get a CV in Bravo.
Yeah, I think a +3 would seal the deal for sure. A +2 is going to keep it a little tight. I don't know. I'm not that good at math. That wasn't my strong suit in school or in adulthood, so I'm not going to try to attempt to do it. But I'm just going to go with it's going to be close.
Yeah. Arista was a prediction thing. That'd actually be really useful if I ever did Wargame 4. Same style of capture points.
Wargame 4? Is that insider knowledge right there? Did we just drop that on the YouTube channel?
They're skipping Wargame 4 and going straight to Wargame 5.
The comeback.
Yeah.
And we see the beta there, yep, getting a good kill on the recon tank there, but these helos aren't going to be enough to win in the game, I don't think. Especially a Tevza B upcoming here. Oh, the Draken getting a nice kill there on the helicopter.
Indeed, indeed.
So the Buffalo then returning the favor. Some trades here. A lot of Buffaloes. I'm not a big fan of the Buffalo, to be honest with you, Ring. I think it's overly expensive for what it does.
Yeah, it's an alright infantry. I think the main thing is it's a 15-man team, which makes it very tanky. And against like mechanized and motorized decks like his, it works really well because it's not a whole lot of heavy armor. But you know, if you're flying against a Soviet deck or Yugoslav, you know, something with a lot of nasty armored units,
right?
Not as great per se, but I think it's really good. It's just very good for sniping transports and other light vehicles. It's like a handy ATGM squad without needing to invest in an ATGM squad. He has 2 CVs in Foxtrot. What the fuck? Yeah. He's not moving the run-in to go.
That's what I was worried about. I was worried, why did he put... I think he's doing it now. Yeah, yes. I just want to make sure it's going the road before I say he is doing it.
Okay, yeah, I take it back in. It's just slow approach.
I think he just forgot. We actually see a Cheetah D out looking for some AA here. Yep, and there it goes, opening up. Completely misses. It actually flies over both my bets. It's eating a lot of damage. And it's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, there she goes. South African Air Force getting messed up today.
Yeah. We're seeing a whole heap of Israeli reinforcements heading into Gofir. A lot of infantry. Same thing with Hephaestus with some elephants and Caspirs going to the center. But, oh, that Dorbin's in a lovely position to snipe the bridge.
Yeah, really good spot. Really good positioning here from Nickm. He's in a dominant position. He has the +2. I don't see how that stops anytime soon. And honestly, if he just put an infantry unit into Bravo, he could kind of scout it out, get a CV in there, and it's...
There we go. Nickm gets the victory. Yeah. Honestly, Nickm would have probably run that match once he got the +3 into Bravo. But close. If that really went on for the full 40 minutes, that would have been really close in terms of points.
Yeah, I think he probably just did the math himself. Maybe he had a calculator. He alt-tabbed real quick. Yeah. Did a little math and figured out that it wasn't going to work out for him. And it didn't look like it. For the writing felt like on the wall for a while. It was just a matter of, is Nickm going to put the command vehicles into the zones and actually start ticking them down?
Yeah, and that's also like one of the things I noticed a lot coming back from to Wargame now. Yeah. Is that it's not so much about actually getting the points to win, but making your opponent think that you're going to get the points to win.
Right.
It's a bit more of that mind games in a way. It's like, hey, I have so much map control. If I start putting CVs down, I'm going to win, even though you have like no command points on the scoreboard. So that's a pretty big part of it, I notice. Makes sense if you get rid of it, because front lane units are much more useful in terms of blowing stuff up compared to CVs, unless it's a T80 RAM.
No, absolutely. And I think what's interesting too about it is, like you said, like if that's Steel Division, that game's going to be played until someone, I think, until it's absolutely obvious that it's over, which is kind of different from the Wargame community, where I think Hephaestus kind of just looked at it and said, there's no realistic way I'm winning this game at this point, even though he could have hung in there the next 8 minutes. It just, it's an extremely tall order, and the odds are it's just not, if he did the mental math and said, hey, this is up, this is GG's.
Exactly, but a pretty good match. I mean,
very good, yeah.
Close on the kills, 500 or so difference. Actually, not as big of a gap in what I was expecting. I was expecting at least 1,000, but real crazy opener, which really just came down to the fact that South Africa isn't that great in those head-on fights.
No, I completely agree with you. I think Moto seems to be the way to play it. If you're going to play in a 1v1, because the Logam just doesn't bring enough, I think, so you could use the extra benefits that Motorize is giving you. And it just, if you lose the ability to, I think, flank and that initiative that the South Africans give you off the start because of their speed, it's just very hard to get back in the game.
Yeah, if you don't open up with 8 Roycat 105s at the start of the match, you're doing it wrong.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly how you play South Africa. But do you have any final thoughts here, Mr. Graham?
No, man, it was a lot of fun. I hope the viewers enjoy it, and I look forward to doing another one next week.
Lovely jubbly. And in that case, thank you very much for joining, guys. I
Oh.
hope you enjoyed the video. And as usual, please just take it easy.